Hello nerds, welcome back to an episode of WNN, your source for the music and music production news. We got things to talk about. FL Studio released a new beta, we have some new plugins, free plugins, Diddy got off in more than one way. In our first story, Steinberg has released SPECTRALAYERS 12, and they've added a few interesting updates to it. For those of you who don't know, SPECTRALAYERS is a spectral audio editing software with quite a few tools, including stem splitting. So obviously there's a lot of AI here, but it's the good kind of AI. Generative AI, lazy, stupid, bleh. This, good. They have improved the unmixed song module. They've increased the quality, better vocal separation, enhancements to drum, bass, and sax/brass unmixing, subtle improvements to guitar and piano unmixing. So this means there should be cleaner stems. They've also improved the unmixed drums module with updated algorithms to separate specific drums, separating up to 6 different kit pieces. They've added the unmixed instrument module. Unmixed instrument allows you to isolate and extract user-identified instruments, so you can select 10 seconds of a target instrument for it to be registered and then running the process. They've also added a mixed soundtrack module, allowing you to separate audio into dialogue, effects, and music layers. This is the kind of thing that would be useful if you are mixing a movie or something and for some reason it's all compiled together. I can't imagine a circumstance where that could happen, but some weird shit happens sometimes when you're working on something. They've improved the unmixed noisy speech module. This is a module that allows you to separate speech and noise. They've improved the voice enhance module. So almost everything here is only going to be stuff that comes with the pro version, just FYI, just from what I'm looking at here. I want to go through and read which ones are pro or whatnot. Tedious. So the voice enhance module can correct clipping, limited bandwidth, compression artifacts, excess reverb, noise, and more. They've also added a deplosive module. I'm thinking maybe this is better than the one in Isotope RX, because everything Isotope RX has is archaic and shitty for the most part, except for their de-esser. The de-esser is pretty decent. The Spectra mode, I'm telling you, the Spectra mode, very natural sounding. They've also improved the voice denoise module and the unmixed transcription modules. They've added some workflow improvements like editing multiple layers at once. Honestly, I've heard good things about SPECTRALAYERS, and I think this might push me into getting it. Oh, they've also added a phase rotation module. There's some other things too. If you're interested in buying SPECTRALAYERS 12, there will be a link to it down in the description. It is an affiliate link for Plugin Boutique. If you buy it at no extra cost, you put some money in my pocket. So you pay nothing extra. You get to buy the thing, and I get some money for it. And not only helping support the channel by doing so, but you're also helping fund beat battles. We're bringing back the beat battles. Wave Wars is coming soon. As soon as I get paid, it's happening. We're doing the finals and we're starting a new season. So make sure to turn on notifications for that if you have not. The DAW wars are not real. They can't hurt you, but people seem to care about it for some reason. Today we'll be talking about FL Studio's new beta updates that look pretty interesting. And I'm sorry to say it, guys. FL Studio and pretty much any other DAW that has free updates is winning the DAW wars that are not real and cannot hurt you. For those of you that do not know, FL Studio is a DAW. A DAW is... I'm not going to explain that, although I'm sure that may open up to a larger audience here. It's a thing you make fucking music on. So ImageLine has recently released FL Studio 2025 Public Beta 9. They've released 9 public betas this year, and we just started July. So I gotta say, they've been putting in work here, for sure. I've mentioned it before on the channel, so I don't really want to mention it again, but I'm going to. One of the monitors is sideways. There are other things to mention here, but I'm going to avoid it. I'm sure all of you that have FL Studio know this already, but they have free updates, and that means that you get to use the beta for free. I personally am not a FL Studio user. I have some self-respect. Granted, I use Ableton, so maybe I don't, actually. They've added something known as Loop Starter for possibly the laziest people on the fucking planet. So it pulls loop and one-shot samples from the FL Cloud Sounds library based on a selected genre, and it will load several loop and genre-related one-shot samples. Then you can utilize the dice icon to control how the samples are used. So you select a genre, then you click the dice icon. Very complicated stuff here. I don't know. I may need this repeated to me. I know this may be difficult for you FL Studio users, but feel free to go back and watch this video over and over again. The large dice icon will randomize all loops and one-shots, and you click next to a specific channel to replace just that element. And then you can right-click the same dice to find similar samples. You can also lock channels if you don't want them randomized. You can manually activate steps or right-click the dice icon and select generate steps for automatic suggestions. I mean, realistically, we already got AI making shit for us, so why not? Why not do this? It's like saying we already have machine guns. Why not? What's the problem with having pistols too? Now, if they want to take this a step further, a good idea would be to allow people to label genres on their own samples and loops, and then have it select from that as well, instead of just FL Cloud stuff, because I feel like eventually that may get old and boring and stupid. Okay, at our next story here, we have one of the worst websites I ever seen. Actually, the design is kind of cool, but let me explain to you why. Ants. Ants everywhere. Now, I don't think they're supposed to be ants. I think they're supposed to be birds, but it looks like fucking ants. We have some new plugins here. One of them is free. So Whirlpool is free. It's a modern beat-driven filter sculptor for adding movement and character to your tracks. Tempo sync pattern sequencer with multiple groove and modulation styles. Perceptual response frequency intensity mapping. I feel like that's a whole bunch of words for something that's actually much simpler. Okay, let's hear what it sounds like. I mean, it kind of just sounds a bit like an auto filter. You know, if you don't have this in your DAW for some reason, here you go. I will link it down in the description unless I forget. If that's the case, then look up Orcus Audio. It's the website with what appears to be ants all over the screen. There are other plugins. I kind of don't care. Don't care. And our next story, we have a free dual shelving spectral balance plugin. I could just imagine the non-nerds here, the non-DAW people, the non-music producers are just like, what the fuck did you just say to me? I'm mad. I'm mad right now. It is a single filter that shifts the tonal balance toward either the low or high end around a central pivot point. So it's used to cut one end of the spectrum while automatically boosting the other end. Designed to speed up your workflow where you can brighten or darken sounds while still maintaining the source material's spectral balance. All right, we got some before and afters here. So it just seems like a tilt filter, and I don't know if there was a free one before this. If there is, I haven't heard of it. Generally, I would use Pro Q or something for this. So hey, this is actually a pretty good free plugin here. Especially if you don't have Pro Q. Link to that will be down in the description if you want to check it out. All right, so I'm just going to briefly cover this here just because it's sort of music news, and it's been a pretty big story, although I've kind of just like not covered it. Actually, I guess I kind of did when it first happened. You know, the whole baby oil thing. That was wild. Wild times. Still wild times. So basically, P. Diddy has not been found on all the things people thought he would. He was still found guilty on a few things. Basically, he was found guilty of transporting two women to places where they could participate in sex acts and prostitution. 2 counts of that. He was acquitted of racketeering. He is convicted on 2 counts, and it carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. His lawyer suggested a $1 million bail, which was denied, and he will stay in jail until sentenced. The prosecutor said they will push for the full 20 years. The judge proposed the 3rd of October as a sentencing date. It's worth noting he faces a number of lawsuits as well. Okay, guys, that is it for this episode of WN, your source. I do think I will be live streaming later today, so make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification if you haven't, or join my Discord, follow me on Instagram, and if you're considering buying anything, buy it via the Plugin Boutique link, which will be down in the description. I'll see you guys next time.